Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to review the Cafe Marc Jacobs The Extra Shot Collection. So this talks all about coffee, cappuccino. I am a total coffee addict. I drink coffee whenever I get the chance. So when I saw these beautiful packaging, and I saw the products, I read about them and I thought immediately I have to give them a try and share it with you guys. So here I am. I'm wearing all these products on my skin right now. If you want to know how easy it was to apply, what are the pros and cons of these products, keep on watching. Okay, so let's begin. So I picked up two shades in the concealer foundation, and I picked up the Omega 3 times. It has the powder blush, it has the bronzer and a highlighter. It has 3. So yeah, so I bought 2 shades because I wanted to try it as a concealer and a foundation because they claim they work as both ways. So for a foundation I've taken a darker shade, and for the concealer I've taken a lighter shade. So for the foundation I've taken medium 240, and for concealer I've taken light 150 because that's what they claim. They say it's a concealer and a foundation. So I'm going to try it in both ways. I like the packaging. This basically all their bronzers and sometimes highlighters also come in the same packaging. I've never tried any of the bronzers from Marc Jacobs, so this would be my first from their brand. So it has, does it have shades for the bronzer? No, they don't have individual shades, but the entire palette, this palette is called the 200 Tan-tastic Glow. So we're going to try this as well, and look at the bronzer packaging. It has this marbly finish with the perfect coffee shade. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Don't you think that just by looking at the shade of the coffee you can tell whether it's good or not? So by looking at this shade, I feel it's going to be a very good coffee, but let's see how it is. So let me cover it up, and I'm keeping it near my face so that you can see a reference as how big the packaging is. And this is the packaging for the concealer. Not priming is a crime. So whenever I'm trying out a new foundation, I always use the primer that I've been using for a very long time, and I know that it settles well on my skin and it suits my skin well. So I am going with my true, tried and tested, the Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas. It's a tongue twister, guys. Alright, so we are all set. I'm primed and I'm ready for my foundation. So I'm taking the shade medium 240. So let's see how the packaging is. Yeah, it's understandable it has a doffle applicator because its main purpose is a concealer, but they say that you can use it as a foundation as well. So I think even medium 240 is going to be very light for my skin tone. Yeah, it is going to be very light, but then we'll have to work it around with using a little bit of bronzer. So I'm going to just dab it all over my skin, and I don't know how much I should take because I don't know how much the coverage is. So I'm just going to put so much right now, and it says that you can blend this out with either your fingers or a blending brush. I'm going to use the Zoeva 104, the puffer brush, because this has a little bit of thicker consistency. I want a brush that has a little more density in it so that it can move the foundation. Okay, it's moving around easily. It's not a very bad match for my skin tone, but the consistency is really thick. Okay, so the shade match is not that bad. The consistency is really thick because obviously the first purpose of this is a concealer. Normally when the consistency is this thick, it oxidizes. So that is another thing we can check by the end of the day. Does it oxidize as a foundation or as concealer as well? They say it gives a very natural finish but very long lasting finish. So that's what we're gonna check. I don't know, I'm not sure should I put another layer, because already I feel my face is looking bright enough. So I'm going to use another layer. So let's see how it layers up. I don't want to use the wrong foundation, so I'm taking the same medium and I'm dabbing just very little. Blend again. Okay, so far I like the finish it's giving me. It's brightening my skin. I don't know if it makes sense, but I've used the foundation, but I feel my face looks a little bit brighter. So yeah, it has smoothened my skin. I don't see any textures. It's giving me a really good coverage. So as a foundation, I'm not sure how much it'll last, how whether it would oxidize or not. That's what we're going to test today. So yeah, for 2 layers, as of now, I like the way the foundation is sitting. So let us try it as concealer now. So now I'm going with the next shade, that is light 150, and I'm going to use it as a concealer, all the regular areas that I conceal. I have my beauty blender. It's not very damp. I've just sprayed a little bit of my setting spray on it. So with this, I'm going to blend out the concealer now. And right now I feel it is not sitting properly near my nose here, just above my cheeks, right here at this area. I feel that it is taking off the foundation that was already laid down, because earlier I did not see any patchiness over here, but right now I can see the patchiness. So when I layered it as a foundation, it layered very well, but now that I'm layering it as a concealer, it is taking off a bit of the foundation. I don't know if it is because of the damp beauty blender. So I'm going to layer a little bit of concealer over here and blend it out with a brush to see if it gives me the same finish. Okay, so with the brush, it looks a little bit better. I'm able to blend it, but still I feel it is a little bit of pink is peeking through my cheeks over here. I don't like the way it is sitting as a concealer. I can already see it creasing on my under eye. I can see it moving the foundation a bit as well. Before it creases more, I'm just gonna dab it properly and I'm going to use my setting powder. So I'll do my setting powder and I'll be right back. Alright, so now that I've set my under eye and the areas that I've highlighted with the concealer, I feel it looks a little bit better. Still, as of now, I feel as a foundation, I like the way it is sitting on my skin, but as a concealer, I don't think this is giving me enough coverage, and it is already settling on my creases. Even though I've set it, I can still see my creases. Alright, I've tried the best that I could do with it. I've tried to work around. So let's go ahead. So I'm going to use the bronzer, blush and the highlighter right now. So I've never used any Marc Jacobs powder products, so this would be the first time I'm using their powder products, so I'm excited to see how they work. I've just taken 2 swipes of the bronzer on an angled brush. I'm tapping off the excess and let's see. Oh my god. Do you see the pigmentation? It's on the... Wow! When I saw it in the pan, I thought this is going to be very light for my skin tone, because normally the bronzer that I use on the pan, it looks very dark. So I thought this is going to be a very light bronzer. Wow, this is super pigmented. Oh my god. So this is the side with the bronzer and this is the side without. Right? Wow, I love, and this is not too warm or too cool. It doesn't have too much of gray and it doesn't have too much of red. It can be used as a contouring shade, it can be used as a bronzer. It has the perfect balance of cool tones and warm tones in it. It's the perfect shade to sculpt your face. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Alright, so now that I'm already in love with the bronzer, let me give the blush a try. I've again used a small angled brush. I've taken 2 dabs from the pan. I'm dropping off the excess. Should I say more? Wow. Their powder products are amazing. I didn't know their powder products are this good. I've used the Marc Jacobs, the gel eyeliner, and it is one of the best eyeliners in the market. I love their gel eyeliners and they have beautiful shades as well. I never tried their powder products. It's never too late, right? It's good that I tried it at least now. Wow. I love the bronzer and the blush already, and I have a feel that I'm gonna love the highlighter as well, so let's see. Moment of truth here now. So I've just taken a little bit on a small fluffy brush. I'm dabbing off the excess and let's see. Okay, so this looks a little bit dark on the skin. It's not bad. It is not pulling up the texture. It is very smooth. It is a little bit dark, so if you have a lighter skin tone than mine, or if you're using a lighter blush, I don't think this would be suitable for you. But again, this is the type of highlighter that you can do over the board. You can go over the board, you can keep using it again and again on your skin and it would still not look blinding. So if you are a person who doesn't like a very blinding highlighter and you need a very subtle one, this is really good if you want a very subtle highlighter. The color, this is not the color that I would go for my normal daily wear, but okay, I can work with it because of the blush. The blush is more peachy, so with the peachiness of the blush and the neutral tone with this, the gold is not that highlighting, or it doesn't look very contrasting to it. But otherwise, if I use it with a different blush, then it would look very contrasting. It would look like a patchy highlighter on my cheek. If only the highlighter was a different color, this would have made a perfect traveling palette for me. But I can still work around with it. I can use this same or any peachy blush and I can use this highlighter. So I would still travel with it. I'm not going to judge it this soon. Other than the color of the highlighter, everything looks amazing. I'm going to use the same bronzer for my eyeshadow as well, and I'm going to complete my entire makeup and I'll be right back. Alright, so now that I'm back with my full face, I've tried to use as many Marc Jacob products as I had, like my lipstick, my eyeliner. I love their mascara as well, but I've run out of it. I'm wearing something else. Everything that I have on my face right now, I would list everything in the description box below along with the shades that I'm using. Now let's talk about the makeup that I have right now. The concealer and the foundation. I think for the foundation, I would try to go another shade darker because I feel it very light. I told you it's given me a brightening effect, and it's not a brightening effect. It's just that the shade that I have, medium 240, it is still a little bit light for my skin tone. I would go another shade or two more shades darker. Otherwise, as of now, I love the way it is sitting on my skin. As a concealer, not so much, mainly because it's not giving me enough coverage. It is still showing my dark circles. I would still give a proper verdict on it by the end of the day. So even with any other concealer, I always use a color corrector to cover up my dark circles. So this time we would at least see how hydrating and how long it lasts on my skin. So that's what we're gonna see. The bronzer, blush, I love the bronzer and the blush. The highlighter, the only reason I'm not in love with the highlighter is because of the shade. It is a little bit darker, but the palette is totally worth it because the bronzer itself is so amazing. I love the bronzer. The shade of the bronzer is out of the world. I don't have anything like it in my collection, so I'm totally in love with the bronzer and the blush. So let's see how this lasts for the entire day, and I'll see you guys soon. Hey, I'm back. So it's not been the complete 8 hours. It's hardly been around 4.5 hours. The time is 12:50 right now. The reason I came back to do my final check-in is the color shade. The color match is really off for me right now. If you can see the difference between my face and my skin. While I was using the foundation, because it was fresh, it did not show so much of a difference, but now as the time goes, I don't know if it is the brightening ingredients or what, my face look more paler. I can see the difference, and now that I'm going out to meet people, I cannot go with this foundation. So I thought, let me come back, give you all a check-in, and it's almost been 4.5 hours now, so it's a good time to give you a review of how I feel about it. First, I'm going to talk about the concealer and foundation hybrid. First, when we talk about the packaging, so for packaging, I love the way it is packaged, the external package and the internal package. I love the way they both are. The external package, I will give it a few points extra because it's so beautiful. So yeah, for packaging, a total thumbs up. Next, they say it's a natural finish. So when I look into the mirror, I can know that I'm wearing concealer. First of all, I have oily combination skin that is a bit sensitive. So when I see in the mirror, I can definitely say that I'm wearing concealer or foundation. So it is definitely not a natural finish. And they say it's a hydrating formula. So far, I haven't felt that it is pulling my skin or is getting too dry on my skin. I don't have that tight feeling on my skin. So maybe it is giving me the hydration. It is too soon for me to give a comment on that, but as of now, for the 4.5 hours mark, I feel it's good. Brightening. Now they have caffeine in it, so caffeine, whether you take it internally or externally on your skin, it re-energizes your skin, so it looks a little more brighter and re-energized basically. For that, I would say yes, because it is definitely brightening my under eyes, and you can see it all over my face. It is brightening, it is really brightening, it's energizing the skin. It has oat extracts that calms and soothes your skin, though it is 4.5 hours is too early to tell if it is calming or soothing my skin, or haven't had any cuts or burns on my skin or any acne that are irritating my skin. So it must be calming and soothing. Maybe if you have sensitive skin, then you can tell it better. But I too have sensitive skin, but so far it hasn't irritated my skin. So I don't know the difference whether it's calming or soothing, but that's what they say it does. The final ingredient was something that I was scared about. If you have seen my previous videos, you know that I have sensitive skin and different people are sensitive to different ingredients. My skin is very sensitive to coconut, whether it is coconut water or coconut oil. I cannot use it on my skin. So I was scared to use this, and if it reacts within few hours. So immediately by this point of time, I should know that it's not suiting my skin. This formula has 5 different types of coconut ingredients in it, which helps in hydrating your skin and keeps it supple for a longer time. So far, I don't see any breakout, I don't see any irritation. Though my skin is sensitive to coconut, I don't think that my skin is reacting in a bad way to this product. So yeah, it has kept my skin hydrated for such a long time, and it's not breaking out my skin, so I'm good with that as well. The pricing of this product retails for $39. I was comparing it with few other concealers as well. So this compared with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is only for $27. However, it has only 0.3 ounce of product, and this has 0.5 ounce of product. So if you compare with the amount of product that you get, I think it's almost priced at the same range. So a thumbs up for the price as well. And as a foundation, it looks very good. It hasn't settled on any of my lines, like the smile lines or my chin area or my forehead area or by the sides of my eyes. It hasn't settled on any of the lines on my face, and it looks good. Let me get that straight. The finish is looking good. It has still covered up all my textures, all my pores, all my hyperpigmentation. However, the color is throwing me off. So I look like a Casper today. So if I want to use it as a foundation, I'll have to go at least 2 tones darker than I've used right now. I think it really looks good as a foundation and a concealer. So it is a concealer and a foundation hybrid. So the price of $39 for 5 ounce of product is totally worth the money. Alright, so now moving to the palette, which has the bronzer, the blush and the highlighter. So when you saw me applying itself, you should know how much I love this product already. It hasn't moved, it hasn't faded off. I can still see the bronzer and the blush on my skin. I have used it on my eyes and it is still in place. It hasn't moved anywhere. The highlighter is something that is not my favorite in this palette, but it's not something that I cannot work with. With this blush, I can work with this highlighter as well. This retails for $49, and I think it's totally worth the buck because it has a huge mirror. I don't want... It's a little bit dirty, but it has a huge mirror on the side, so it's very good for traveling as well. You need to package it properly when you're traveling because it is very lightweight, but I feel that the product can break easily if you are too rough and tough with your traveling, so you need to package it properly. But I think it's a very good palette for traveling because it has a huge mirror on this side and it has all the 3 products. And yeah, I love it, especially the packaging. I just can't take my eyes off from the packaging. It is so beautiful. The marble texture, the smoothness, it's beautiful. So this is the total thumbs up. I love this. It is totally worth the buck. Other than choosing the incorrect shade for my skin as a foundation, I think everything else was absolutely fine with the products that I tried. It works really well with my skin, though it's sensitive. It still really works really good. So yeah, if you like this review, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.